on appointment, and right now I'm very pleased to be with you here. I've, having come here, I actually, I misplaced my notes this morning while I was on the way here, and I don't really know what happened to them, but I had them in paper clip attached to my notes, my books, and I must have misplaced them. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? Oh my goodness. Anyway, hang on a minute, I just want to take a call right now. I've had a call coming in from, hang on a minute. I'll try and put the call on speakerphone so you can participate in it. Hello? That's right. That's right. Yeah, this is the front desk. That's correct. This is the front desk. All right. No, all right, fine. Thank you very much. All right, I'll confirm your calling. All right, thank you very much. All right, that was just a call from Dr. Samuel Doctorian. He's in Jakarta, Indonesia. Dr. Samuel Doctorian's in Jakarta, Indonesia right now. And we don't often take calls in the pulpit, but every now and again, just to boast a little bit, we will take a call every now and again in the pulpit. Anyway, as I was in the lounge earlier this morning, it suddenly dawned on me that my notes had actually gone, and I said, "Oh, Holy Spirit, you have to be in charge this morning. You are the one that will have to speak to the people this morning. You are the very strength this morning, the very voice this morning to the people." And, I've had such a busy week. I was at home the whole weekend with family, doing nothing. We had a lovely family time, and, and then I was a little bit put out this morning because I had to speak this morning. I was a little put out, after the weekend. Anyway, the angel answered me, and these are the four spirits of heaven going out from standing in the presence of the Lord. The whole world, the one with the black horse is going toward the north country, and the one with the white horses toward the west, and the one with the dappled horses toward the south. And when the powerful horses went out, they were straining to go throughout the earth. And as he said, "Go throughout the earth," so they went throughout the earth. And then he called to me, "Look, those going toward the north country have given my spirit rest in the land of the north." Oh, what a glorious season we are living in. Oh, what a glorious time, a glorious generation of the things of the Holy Spirit, a glorious unveiling of the presence of God in our very day, in our very age. Such a glorious manifestation of the glory and the presence of the Lord as this very Spirit of God goes forth throughout the world to the very four corners of the continent, to the very four corners of the globe, to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. The very going forth of the Spirit of the Lord. No turning back, no restraint, no refraining. Like very clouds rolling forth on the horizon, clouds rolling forth on the horizon, a very rolling of those clouds upon the horizon. A very unveiling of the very mighty Spirit, the mighty Holy Spirit, the very third person of the Trinity in this very day and age. We're moving in such a glorious season, such a glorious era to be live within the life of the church, to be alive within the lifespan of the church, probably one of the greatest eras, one of the greatest times in the history of God's relationship with the church, with his very bride at this time. Oh, such a glorious impartation, such a glorious participation, such a glorious belonging. A very belonging, a very union with the Holy Spirit, very union with the Spirit of the living God. A very unraveling, a very unveiling of the Holy Spirit, of the things of the Spirit, a move of God, like the very barreling, the very rolling of clouds across the horizon of the face of the planet, across the face of the earth. Such a glorious hour of the great manifestation of the things of the Spirit in the life of the church. Very entry of the Holy Spirit, very entry of the Holy Spirit into the life of the church. No, it's no longer from the inside out. It's no longer from the inside out. It's now from the outside in. It's the very kneading in of the yeast into the dough, a very kneading in of the yeast into the dough, into the lump. A very working in of the Holy Spirit into the church, into the lifeblood of the church. It's no longer a conjuring up from the inside, a need to have to produce a display of works, a display of program of works to keep the Holy Spirit interested. It's no longer a need to have to keep the very Holy Spirit interested in the things of the church, interested in the things of the church, the life of the church. No longer a need to have to draw the Holy Spirit. No longer a need to have to draw the Holy Spirit in to the thing, the very life, the very activities of the church. But a very yielding, a very time of, very season of watching and observing. Watching and observing the very unraveling, the very unveiling of the things of the Spirit, the fresh new move of God in this very time, in this very season that we are moving in. Oh, such a glorious time to be a part of the mighty move of God, the very mighty move of the Holy Spirit in the church. Probably one of the greater times in history, as the church is in a state of transition right now, in a state of inspecting the ruins, a very state of transition. Very state of transition as the clouds roll in on the horizon, the clouds roll in of the Spirit upon the horizon, into the situation, into the very lifeblood of the church, the very observance of the situation, and no longer a need for us to have to draw, no longer a need for us to have to entice the very hand of God, the very move of God. God is in full control of the situation. And we see right now as we move in the very time frame, the very timeline right now of God's people, God's bride, God's church. We're going to see a very speeding up, as there's a progression towards the move of God, as there's a progression towards the things of God, towards the fresh new move of the Spirit, as there's a speeding up of the people, as there's a speeding up of the bride, to want to enter into the things of the Spirit, to want to enter into the move of God, to want to enter into the fresh new move of the Holy Spirit. We're going to see a speeding up of events. We're going to see a speeding up of the people, a speeding up of the bride, to want to get through the very gates. They want to get through to the very gates, the very inner gates of the courtyard, the very inner gates of the temple, the north gate, the south gate, the west gate, the east gate. A very speeding up of the bride of Christ, of the people of the church, to want to enter in, to want to enter into the very move of God, the very and fresh, unanticipated move of the Holy Spirit, not knowing what to expect. Very desire to want to get through the gates of the inner courtyard, to get through the gates of the very inner temple, very speeding up of the people, very speeding up of the situation, very narrowing of the way, a very narrowing of the way. And a very narrowing of the situation as the church, as the bride enters in, as the church enters in, as the church starts to enter in, as this church starts to anticipate with full expectancy the full unmanifesting, unveiling presence, full glory of God, rolling in, barreling in upon the horizon, across the horizon, a very speeding up of events, very speeding up of the bride, of the church, of the people to want to get into the inner courts, the inner gates of the temple, to participate, not to be left out. Not to be left out, not to be caught without oil, not to be caught without oil in their lamps, lest they be locked out, lest they be closed out, lest they be left out in the darkness, lest they be left out, lest they be locked out, outside. Very need to get in, very need to get in while there's still time. And as we read in the very book of Zechariah, chapter 6, 4 chariots, and I looked up again and there were before me 4 chariots coming from between 2 mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second black, the third white, and the fourth dappled, all of them powerful. And I asked the angel who was speaking to me, "What are these, my Lord?" And the angel answered me, "These are the 4 spirits of heaven, going out from standing in the presence of the Lord of the whole world. The one with the black horses is going toward the north country, and the one with the white horses toward the west, and the one with the dappled horses towards the south. And when the horses went out, they were straining to go throughout the earth." And he said, "Go throughout the earth." So they went throughout the earth. And then he called to me, "Look, those going toward the north country have given my spirit rest in the land of the north." And God is wanting to give His very Spirit, His very Holy Spirit, the very Spirit of the Lord, living God. He's wanting to give His Holy Spirit rest in our very land, in our very territory, in our very territories of the church, very keys of the kingdom, very keys of His houses of habitation. He's wanting to give us rest, very fulfillment of the promise of the Holy Spirit. He's wanting to give His Holy Spirit rest within our very places, within our very temples of habitation. The Holy Spirit is looking for a place of rest. The Holy Spirit is looking for a place of habitation within His temples of His people, within His temples of His habitation, within the houses of God. A very speeding up of events that we're going to be seeing in the life of the church, very speeding up of events as the people anxiously anticipate, anxiously try to get through the gates of the inner courtyard, through the gates of the inner temple, into the inner courts. As the Holy Spirit starts to take up habitation, as the Holy Spirit starts to take up habitation, as the Holy Spirit starts to take up rest, His resting place, occupation of the very temple. This very hour, in this very day and age, in this very hour that we are moving in, imperative that we get in through the gates of the temple, that we get into the inner courts of the courtyards of God, the courtyards of the Holy Spirit, lest we miss out on the very unveiling, the very manifestation of the things of the Spirit, the very manifestation of the fresh new move of God in the earth today, right now, at this very time, at this very hour, right now that we're moving in. very move of God. Unanticipated, very move of God right now. Very anxiousness on behalf of the church worldwide right now. Very anxiousness on behalf of the church worldwide right now. Anxiousness for not knowing what is going on. Not knowing what is going on in the church.